Hi there, today I'm going to show you how I made this cute little Valentine matchbox, and I made a little window in the top of it with the designer frames and bosslets and extra large oval punch. So we're going to begin with the big shot, and I've got my extended cutting pad first, and then I've got the Matchbox die, and I'm just going to layer that over the cutting pad. Then I've got pretty in pink cardstock cut to fit right over the box pieces of this die, and I've got those in place. And then I'm going to use the extended premium crease pad, and that's going to fit right on top of these, and then I will just roll that through. Okay, so now while I've got the big shot out, I'm going to go ahead and get my platform, and I'm using tab 1, a cutting pad, and I'm going to get my designer frame embossing folder, and this actually comes in a set of 2. We're using the oval today, and it has this other one that comes with it. This is a celebration free item that you can choose when you spend $50 during celebration, and I actually got it that way. It's been on my wish list since last summer, and I was so excited to see it on the list. So then what I'm going to do is take my designer paper. This is the Subtles Patterns designer paper, and I want the Sizzix side on the right side of my designer paper. I'm just going to position that so it's in the center and close the folder, and then I'm going to lay that on the cutting pad and then put another cutting pad over the top, and then I can go ahead and emboss that. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing with the Fashionable Hearts embosslets. This is another really cool little embossing tool that is in the Occasions mini catalog, and that's how we're going to get these little hearts. So I've got a piece of Regal Rose cardstock that I'm just going to lay in here, fold that together, put my cutting pad on top and roll that through. So you see I've got all my little hearts that just pop right out of here, and I'm just going to use a couple of them, but I'm going to go ahead, and I wanted 2 colors, so I did it in Regal Rose, and then I did another one in Pretty in Pink. So here's my Pretty in Pink one. So I'm just going to set those aside. I'm just using those 2 little hearts. Okay, and then I've got my Matchbox die cut, and you've got score lines here that you're going to just fold along. So I will fold along all of those, and you'll get much nicer creases if you use the bone folder. So I usually break these down first and then go ahead and take my bone folder back over. Okay, so I've got those all creased good. Then I'm going to take this is kind of the cover of the box, and we'll do the same thing. Okay, so now I'm going to put a little bit of, this is the inside of the box, I'm going to put some snail adhesive just on these sides, these 2 side flaps, because they will stay closed better if I do that. And then I'm going to just fold these in. This is how this box goes together. Fold those sides in, and then I just kind of bend these. There's a little score line on these flaps. I get those started on both sides. And then I just break in these little corner edges a little bit so that they will fold easily. Okay, then once you have all of those folds sort of broken in, then you can just go ahead and fold these side edges in to form your box. I just love how easy that goes together. Okay, so now we've got our cover. This is what this looks like. This little flap is the edge that folds under to put this together, and so I'm going to want that seam on the bottom, so this section will be the top of the box, this top part. So then I'm going to take my little embossed piece of designer paper, add some snail adhesive to the back side, and you want to get a good amount of snail adhesive on this, because when we punch out the oval in the center, you're going to want all those edges to stick. So I am kind of covering these edges pretty good. And just to keep it in place, I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so once you've got the snail adhesive on there, It helps me to kind of fold this back and I can see better where all those edges are. There's just a really small little border of the pink cardstock around this designer paper. So I've got that in place. Okay, now what you're going to have to do in order to get your extra large oval punch centered over that frame is you're going to have to fold this little flap in half. And I know I would rather not do that, but it's the only way to get it over here. Okay, once you have that folded, then you're going to take your punch, and it's easier if you slide it right over the side edge and fit it in there, and then look for that little raised oval. Okay, once you have that centered, then you can go ahead and punch it. Okay, so there's your little window. So now we're going to take this flap and just open it up, and I'm going to use my bone folder to just smooth that out. And this is going to be okay because you're not going to really see that after it's together. Okay, so now that you have that together, then I'm taking a piece of window sheet that I've cut down, and I'm just going to adhere this to the back with some glue dots. So I've put a glue dot in each corner. Okay, and then you can just go ahead and lay that right over the back of this oval. So there's that. And then I'm just going to take some snail adhesive on this little flap. And attach these sides just matching up the edge. So there's your window, and then you're ready to go ahead and put the hearts on. And I'm just going to use another glue dot, and I'm going to take the little pretty in pink heart and attach a glue dot to the back of that, and I'm going to just position that right over this regal rose heart. And once I have those together, then I'll take a dimensional and put it on the back side, sort of in the center of those two. And so I've got the basic pearls, and I'm just going to take one of these medium-sized pearls with my paper piercing tool. That's the easiest way for me to put those on here. Okay, so I've got my pearl in place, and then I'm ready to go ahead and peel off the backing of this dimensional, and I will position this right on the edge of the frame where I want it. Okay, so once you have that in place, then you can go ahead and stamp your little greeting. I'm using the P.S. I Love You stamp set with basic gray ink, and I'm just going to stamp this right in the center of the inside of the box. So there's your sentiment, and then this just slides over. And that's your little box. Okay, so then you can put candy or a little gift inside. And I actually took one of our small cellophane bags and just cut the end off to cut it down a little bit and filled just enough candy hearts for them to fit inside. And then you can just slide your cover over and they'll show through. And if you would like to get any of the products that I use to make this, they can be purchased online at my Stampin' Up! Website. I'll have that across the screen. And as always, if you have questions, please just email me. Thanks for watching.